Hey everybody, Chad Hasty here, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs on News Talk 790 KFYO and streams online at KFYO.com. Hope you had a great weekend. We saw a lot happen this week. Of course, the Super Bowl, and of course on the presidential side of things, another Republican presidential debate, and a debate that did not go so well for Marco Rubio. Maybe the first time that we've seen a bad debate from Marco Rubio. It wasn't that he didn't know what he was talking about. It wasn't that Marco Rubio said a lot of bad things. It was that, well, he kind of wilted under the pressure of Chris Christie. Christie, who is trailing big time in every single poll out there, including in New Hampshire. Chris Christie has bet everything he can on winning New Hampshire, and he's polling, I believe, about 4th or 5th place, depending on which poll you look at. Marco Rubio is in 2nd place in New Hampshire behind Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I think, will go on and win New Hampshire with Marco Rubio coming in 2nd place. Rubio possibly could have overtaken Donald Trump in New Hampshire, but with the debate performance he had, where he really didn't come off as strong as he needed to, I just don't see him defeating Donald Trump in New Hampshire. But we'll get to that a little bit more tomorrow here on the Morning Brief. Today I want to talk about Rubio's debate performance, why it wasn't so great, and really what it means going forward. For Chris Christie, he had a tremendous debate for Chris Christie. Now, let's put that in perspective a little bit. I think Ted Cruz had an excellent debate. In fact, I think Ted Cruz won the debate on Saturday night. I think Jeb Bush, this is the first time I'm mentioning Jeb Bush, I think, in a positive light. Jeb Bush had a great debate. But again, let's put that in perspective. Not a high bar for Jeb Bush, right? Not a lot of high expectations for Jeb Bush. He exceeded the expectations, which were already pretty low for Jeb. Marco Rubio, high expectations. I put the expectation level for Rubio very high. Him, along with Ted Cruz, high expectations, and Rubio just didn't get there. I thought Cruz was going to have a bad night, because the first, about 20 minutes or so of that debate, it was not a good one for Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz defending himself a little too much about the Ben Carson stuff. Ted Cruz coming under fire from Donald Trump. He also pulled his punches against Donald Trump. So I did not think it started off well for Ted Cruz, but he rebounded and had a better night. Marco Rubio, towards the end of the night, he had a good debate as well towards the end of the night, but it's still hard to forget about how he just took a pounding from Chris Christie. Chris Christie had to do it. I've received a lot of emails and tweets and a few phone calls already. Why did Chris Christie go after Marco Rubio? Well, it's real easy. Chris Christie has bet every single thing on winning New Hampshire. He's not going to win New Hampshire. It's not going to happen. The best that he could hope for is a miracle 3rd place, and I really don't see that happening. I see that falling to either John Kasich or Jeb Bush, maybe even Ted Cruz. I don't see Chris Christie falling into the top 3. So he had to go after Marco Rubio in the Saturday night debate. I get it. I understand it. Did it weaken Rubio? Yeah, a little bit, at least for New Hampshire. I was never under the belief that Rubio was going to win New Hampshire. I thought maybe there's an outside chance, but I never really saw it happening. I still think Donald Trump, and I've thought all along that Donald Trump is going to win New Hampshire. It's going to be a battle between Marco Rubio and I think Ted Cruz, and yes, Donald Trump as well, in South Carolina. That's going to be the big showdown between the top 3 candidates out there. We'll see how that develops. But overall, not a good night for Marco Rubio on Saturday. Does it hurt his presidential campaign nationally? Absolutely not. But it does hurt him a little bit, just a little bit, in New Hampshire. So overall, I think my top 3 from Saturday night, Ted Cruz, Chris Christie, and Jeb Bush. I put Donald Trump in there. I thought Donald Trump maybe 4th place, 5th place. Maybe Rubio did a little bit better than Trump. Trump, to me, just again showed that he's not very conservative with his eminent domain comments. I did not like how he attacked Jeb Bush. I thought it was very disrespectful when he went after Jeb Bush. I know a lot of people out there, and I know a lot of Trump supporters really like it when he goes after Jeb Bush. But, Jeb Bush was bringing up a good point about eminent domain and what Trump did in New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. I'm sorry, it is something that needed to be discussed, and it shows eminent domain that Donald Trump just isn't as conservative as everybody else. It's okay, but let's talk about it. And instead, Donald Trump tried to shush Jeb Bush. Look, it gets to a point where, yeah, it was funny at first. Now, come on, guys. You're competing for president of the United States. Be a little more respectful of each other up on stage, especially Donald Trump. So I put Donald Trump maybe 4th or 5th, trading with Marco Rubio. I probably put Rubio in 4th place because I think he had some really good answers on the topic of abortion and some other social issues later on in the debate, probably after a lot of people nodded off and went to bed. So thanks for tuning in to the morning brief here on KFYO on YouTube. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube page right below. Follow me on Twitter, Chad HD Radio, and listen to the show, Chad HD Show, KFYO in Lubbock. Listen online, KFYO.com. Tomorrow on the morning brief, I'll give my predictions as to what I think will happen in New Hampshire. Tune in for that. We'll see you later.